Hello everybody! I thought now would be an excellent opportunity to do an example of what it looks like when you work Scansion. So this is how I work Scansion, so what you might do might be totally different. But if you want to have an idea, this is what it looks like. So I am working on Hamlet right now. I have gotten to this monologue in my memorization, so I am going to scan it at this time. So I've already made a paraphrase of this. I've already paraphrased that paraphrase and paraphrased that paraphrase. I've broken it into arguments. I've done all that good stuff that we cover in later videos. So I am now ready to approach the scansion. So here we've got an unusual beginning. ISO, God be with ye, now I am alone. So I'm guessing that these two lines are going to add up to 10 total syllables. That's just kind of the convention of the playwriting. If a iambic line is interrupted by an action, such as an exit, that iambic line is likely to continue. So if I'm going to mark it out, here is my mark out structure. So this is unstressed for me, and this is stressed. You can use whatever annotation that you want to use. So using an iambic pattern, and I'm just going to do the stress syllables. I, so, God, be with ye. With ye, you can see the apostrophe there. That's an indication that this is probably an elision. So I'm going to stop at this point and I'm going to actually count the syllables. So I, so, God, be with ye. So that would be 5 syllables. Now I am alone, which would be another 5 syllables, which brings us to 10. So this is likely going to be the case that this is indeed an elision. So this ends unstressed, which means this is stressed, unstressed, stressed, unstressed, stressed, because alone is a 2-syllable word. So very regular pattern, and we're just going to continue from there. Oh, what a rogue and peasant slave am I. I'm going to look at that line. It's a 10-syllable line. I am not going to make any modifications to it. I think where the stress pattern falls naturally is good. So usually I'll mark along the edge of the page, whether it's a traditional line with a T or a departure. So a departure would be if it was a strange line. We'll just keep going here. Is it not okay, so let's see here. Is it not monstrous, 3-syllable word, that this player here? So that would be 11 total syllables if monstrous was counted as 3 syllables. So we pause. Monstrous is a word that you could definitely elide into monstrous, making it a 2-syllable word. So let's compare how they sound. Is it not monstrous that this player here? That's feels a little weird in the mouth. Is it not monstrous that this player here? This one, when I speak it out loud, the mouth feel is much better. Is it not monstrous that this player here? And that brings us down to 10 syllables, which is a more kind of traditional iambic phrasing, of course. So we're going to elide monstrous, and we're just going to make a little comma here to kind of illustrate that. Is it not monstrous? Oh, sorry. Wrong symbol. There. Elided. So monstrous that this player here. So this is a but in a fiction, in a dream of passion. Okay, so that looks like an 11-syllable line. We're going to go back and check. But in a fiction, in a dream of passion, it is indeed an 11-syllable line. So we're going to look, are there words that can be elided? Fiction could be elided into fiction, in a dream of passion. So fiction and passion could both be elided. I actually like the feminine ending on passion. So the reason I like the feminine ending on passion is that is how the word is naturally said, right? The syllable stress goes on the front end of passion. If it was a 10-syllable line, it would be pronounced passion, which sounds very weird. So if it sounds weird, it's likely not supposed to be that way. So I'm going to put a little F here, which is how I indicate a feminine ending, a D over here, indicating that there's been a departure from regular iambic. And I'm going to circle the word passion because not only does it fall on a syllable stress, but it is also part of a feminine ending, so it is going to be an important word. Let's just keep on going. could force his soul so to his own conceit. Standard line. I have no issue with how it reads. That from her working all his visage waned. Another standard line. Looks good. Tears in his eyes, distraction in aspect. So, this appears to be a regular line, but tears. My gut is telling me that tears is in fact a stressed word. I think this is going to be a departure. So if I were to be doing my first pass here, I'd say tears in, and then I'd make his unstressed too. So tears in his eyes, distraction in aspect. Tears in his eyes, distraction in aspect. So we're gonna rock and roll with that. So I'm gonna mark a departure here, and then when I'm working on this speech segment, I'm gonna pay very careful attention to this line. I'm gonna try different things. I'm gonna maybe go back to a regular iambic pattern, kind of test out the waters and feel out what feels right. Tears in his eyes is just such powerful imagery that I can't imagine that the intention is anything other than for tears and eyes to be stressed. Just keep on rocking and rolling. Broken voice and his whole function suiting. Okay, so it looks like we might have another 11-syllable line. Let's double check our work. A broken voice and his whole function suiting. So we look. Is there things that can be elided? Yes, broken is a hard elision, so we'll skip that. His whole function could be elided. Suiting could be elided, but none of these are easy words to elide. So let's look at why this might be a feminine ending. A broken voice and his whole function suiting. Okay, let's back it up a little bit. That from her working all his visage wane, tears in his eyes, distraction in his aspect, a broken voice and his whole function suiting, with forms to his conceit and all for nothing, for Hecuba. I just like the mouthfeel of this feminine ending. I don't think that we're going to elide anything. Now, that's not to say that we might not change our mind at a later date. I mean, this is another departure from the line, so this is why I mark these departures. It's because I want to keep my eye on these when I'm working them to see if maybe I want to circle back and make some changes. But we're going to keep the feminine ending there. His whole function suiting, right? So suiting in this sense is important to the structure of the monologue. It's kind of what Hamlet's talking about here. It's his affect. It's the mismatch between his thoughts and his circumstances and his actions. So suiting here, I think, is intended to be a powerful word. So we're just going to finish off the phrase here with forms to his conceit and all for nothing. Okay, another 11-syllable line. If Shakespeare's giving you 2 11-syllable lines in a row, don't ignore that. That's likely to be intentional. So we discussed this in later videos, but when Shakespeare makes a feminine ending, it's to bring emphasis to the last word in the line, and it's also to break the pattern. So we've got pretty darn strong iambic patterning going on here. So at this point where you have 2 feminine endings in a row, that can really kind of twinge the audience ear. For Hecuba, and then we've got this big old space here. So when you find an iambic line that has a big old space, Barry suggests to you that you need to fill that line with an action, right? So you pause and you fill it by doing something. Now you don't pause for Hecuba for 6 beats. You pause. You just do a tasteful pause here. You don't have to add up the math, so it's a perfect 6-beat pause. Okay, guys, so that is what my scansion process looks like. Things that I wish that I knew when I was starting Scansion could probably be a follow-up to this video, as we're running pretty long. Thank you for those of you who wanted to stick around and watch this. I hope that this maybe kind of settled the previous videos by providing an example. That was my wish, at least. I love you all so very much. And here's a little heart for you. Oh my gosh, yes, I love you. Okay, have a good day, guys. Bye-bye.